What up, YouTubers? This is Evan for Grips.com coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be continuing the Party Poker Bankroll Challenge from $100 to $10,000. And currently, after 2 sessions, I'm up $8. Almost a full buy-in. Not a bad start. And if I hadn't made a pretty costly mistake of getting all in with Ace-Jack offsuit, which I don't really know why I did, I could be up 2 buy-ins. But it's all right. Still moving the right direction, and hopefully I can just continue that momentum and take this thing all the way to the end goal. So I'm going to be playing, damn, missed the blind. I'm going to be playing 6 tables on screen and probably a couple more off screen. So if any interesting hands come up on any of the outer tables, I will bring them in so that you guys can follow the action. Got top pair and a gut shot on table 4. Make continuation bet to get some value, most likely. On that turn, decent chance I still have the best hand, but I definitely don't want to get check raised off 2 pair, so I'm going to check back and hope the river's not a diamond, and then I can make a tough decision on the river. But he checks, probably have the best hand, although I don't really know what hands are going to call us that are worse, so I'm just going to check back. Hopefully I won't miss the auto post option on table 3 again. It's tough on Party Poker. The notifications are either way too loud, so I got to turn them off, or way too quiet. I'm just going to fold on table 1. I think when he checks back on that flop, he's more likely to have showdown value than air, and a pair of 8s doesn't really have too much value against hands that he would be checking back with there. I have a gut shot, and that's probably about it. I think it's pretty unlikely that I ever have the best hand. So not getting the right price to chase a gut shot. Post, post. Okay. Looks like we're going to be all right now. So as requested, in this video I'm just going to stick with the poker strategy talk. Not do too much life discussion. We'll save that for the Zoom videos and the seminar videos. Bankroll challenge videos will be exclusively poker strategy talk. How to play your hands for maximum value. Minimizing losses. All that good stuff. Hopefully we can pick up a couple stacks today. Fortunately, starting to get some decent hand samples on these guys, so we'll be able to make more use of the Hold'em Manager software. And flopping flush is always good. Lead out on table 5. Table 4 I had a double gut shot, so I went ahead and led there. I don't know what hands he's calling flop and folding turn, so I'm just going to check. Hope to see a free river. If he has like 6-7, he might have let us see that river. 4-1, I think I'm going to call. And then just check fold on this river. And hopefully on table 5, this guy has like a queen that he'll pay off with. Damn. Well, couldn't imagine he's raising without a flush, and our flush is not that good. So I'm sadly going to fold on table 5. But it's important to save those bets where you can, especially on the river where your equity is either 100% or 0%. There's no semi-bluffing or calling withouts. You're just either you have the best hand or you don't. So you want to be pretty sure about your decisions when making calls on the river. Got 2 overcards on table 5, c-bet, and just given that we know all-a poker Madsen limp calls pretty wide, I'm gonna c-bet the ace-queen as a semi-bluff. Fold. Oh, made a straight. Straight. Oh, flush is better. Okay, you guys know what we do to limpers on table 1. We punish. And Ole, though, we know he likes to limp call, so I'd like to have a bit more flopability if I'm gonna punish him. But I will take a stab when he doesn't bet the flop. Hope that he missed. We could take it down. We do. That's a pretty good flop on table 6. Just bet a third of the pot. And a cool thing on Party Poker is you can customize what shortcut bet sizes you have on your slider. I've set mine to third pot, 2/3 pot, and 4/5 of the pot. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to scale it up a little bit. If he has a king, I think he's still calling. Flush draws might still call. Very weak hands will probably fold. It's a pretty bad hand on table 5, but getting 3-1 and having position, it's hard to fold anything that can make anything. If anyone knows how to change what the shortcut keys are on Party, please let me know. I find it's a lot easier to multi-table when F1 is fold, F2 is call/check, and F3 is bet/raise as it is on Betfair. This control left, up, right, down shit, I don't really know how I'm supposed to be pressing 2 buttons at the same time when I'm trying to like 10 table. So if someone could help me out with that, that would be greatly appreciated. Table 3, although the board is somewhat dry, it's not really worth c-betting into 3 other people. There's a good chance that someone caught some kind of piece of that board. So that's why I just opted to check fold. We also had no equity when called. Generally, if you're going to be c-betting, you'd like to have at least some sort of equity, even if it's nothing more than a backdoor flush draw or a backdoor straight draw. That still helps because there are lots of turns that you can continue to barrel on because you have outs. So as I start to get bigger samples on these guys, it's really helpful for blind versus blind situations. If you have a player who's extremely tight in the big blind and you're in the small blind, you can pretty much go ahead and open any two cards because your raise is going to be getting through like 90% of the time. Whereas if you're against a more aggressive player, you want to be more selective in your opening ranges because you're going to be getting played back at a fair bit and you want to have something to back yourself up. Actually, this is an example on table 5. The guy's playing 15-5 in the big blind. So if the button folds, I'm definitely going to be opening. But when the button opens, no interest. Table 3 could go either way with this hand. Guy seems to be playing pretty tight so far, so I'm just going to call, try to catch a piece of the board, and then take it from there. And on table 6, I'm going to try to isolate the fish by squeezing. This guy's playing very loose on table 1, so 3-bet. The wider someone's opening range is, obviously the wider your 3-betting for value range can be. And on table 3, I'm going to take one off just because I may have the best hand and because that can happen. Pretty good turn for me on table 5. Equity's pretty strong. Just going to bet call. And we get through, which is always nice. And table 3, I'm just check calling down. Even though I turn top pair, top kicker, there's no need to check raise. Just minimize losses when we're beat, maximize gains against bluffs. Table 6 wasn't the best turn card. River card's decent. I'm going to take a shot at the pot. Even though I'm taking the suicide line. When the king comes off, it's not the easiest call to make even with a 9 here. Yep. We're just going to continue to isolate Oli as often as possible. And that's a pretty good flop. Fairly draw heavy, so I'm going to bet on the larger side. The fewer draws that are on the board, obviously the smaller you can bet, because if they have a shitty draw, they need better odds to make a correct call. Whereas when they have a really good draw, you have to charge them a very high price to avoid them, to prevent them from making a correct call. And on that turn, I'm going to continue value betting, even though some hands have caught up. But if I get check raised, it's going to be a pretty nasty spot. Check call is fine. And now we're going to bet smaller on the river so that we can get called by the widest range. We're really just looking to get called by an 8 here. Did you call? Well, yeah, so we call with an 8. Perfect. Going for a check raise here on the river. I think this guy has an ace minimum, and we have the nets. Plan on table 6 was to check call down, so I guess I'll check call again, and then based on his river sizing, I'll make a decision as to whether or not I want to call the third bet. Mm, that's going to be a big enough bet to make me fold. Dude bet 3x pot. And apologies if the action is a bit fast and tough to follow. Easiest thing to do is just pause the video, go back, look at interesting hands over again. I just really want to try to build this bankroll up as quickly as possible, so I want to be maximizing the number of tables I'm playing during these sessions. You want to bet pot, that's cool, it's yours. Calling 3 bets out of position, generally not the best thing, but getting 3 to 1 with a hand that can connect with the flop in a lot of different ways and a lot of stack behind. I don't mind calling here. Table 1. But I'm going to be cautious for the remainder of the hand. It's a pretty good turn. Pretty good turn. That's what hitting a 2-outer sounds like. Call. Rivers. Nice. Here's a spot on table 3. It's definitely fine to see a flop. We're getting multi-way action with a hand that plays well multi-way. And we lose to ace-king on table 1. That's about it. 8-9 as well. A couple of unlikely sets. But that doesn't mean we're going to check raise. We're just going to check call. Even if he has a hand like aces, he shouldn't be like snap calling if we check raise there. So the turn was unlucky for us, but didn't lose too much on the hand. Why lead on table 3? Don't really have a good enough hand to check call. Our hand's a little too good to check fold, and it's also not really good enough to check raise. So the only other option that leaves us is to lead it out. And given that we have a couple of backdoor draws, a couple of 2-pair trip draws, there are lots of turn cards we can continue on and play aggressively on, which is what you want to be able to do when you take the betting lead in a hand. Maintain aggression. Skyrock seems like a bit of a blaster. Hopefully he just airballed this flop and doesn't want to float. We don't really want to check and give up the lead in that hand because it's going to make the hand very difficult to play. He should seize the aggression there. And we want to be avoiding situations like that. Table 5, that's the spot I could have raised the button with any 2 cards. Both players in the blinds are playing extremely tight. And table 3, likelihood of someone having flopped a better hand than us isn't that high, so gonna c-bet for value. This player on table 6 seems to be the mark in the game, so getting 3.5 to 1 with a less than stellar but still decent holding. I'm going to play the pot. You want to be trying to play as many pots as possible with the weak players on the table. So any excuse you can find to get involved with them, do it. Do it. You don't need to have a massive pre-flop edge if your post-flop edge is through the roof. And how do you take advantage of your post-flop edge? Get involved in post-flop situations. Duh. This player on table 2 is very loose, but last time I 3-bet and called off against a loose player, I was drawing to 7%. So I'm just going to call here. These loose players also tend to like calling 3-bets at the minimum, if not 4-betting them. So it's better to have suited hands and hands that have a bit more floppability, connected cards that can flop straight draws, flush draws, shit like that. These offsuit hands can often get you into trouble, so taking the pot control route is fine. And I could definitely check call one there, but I assume the player's also aggressive, firing a lot of barrels. I just didn't feel like I was going to hit that time. But math would say it's okay to call there because on the cards that I do hit, the queen and the ace, those are some of the most likely cards for him to continue firing away. So I can pick up a lot of bluff value in that spot by check calling. And I can also have the best hand sometimes. All right, everyone's playing really tight. Table 5, the mark is in the big blind. I'm going to go ahead and open this hand under the gun. Kind of the same situation on table 4. And table 6, good pot odds. Decent hand. See a flop. Ole. Let's check down to the river. Free showdown. This guy's really tight. I'm going to call one though because I think he's going to be c-betting his entire range on this board. And now he's going to bet, and we're going to have to fold. Against these tight guys, unless you're deep stacked, it's also okay to just fold the pocket pairs from out of position. A really big 4-bet range on this guy. Nah, just call. All right, Catalan, you're really playing a lot of pots. But I don't really feel like this hand is strong enough to call on table 6, so instead I'm going to opt to 3-bet it. That's a pretty good flop for me, as ace-king makes up a big part of my range. And if he can't beat a king, he probably has to fold. I guess he might be able to beat a king. Find when the board does not change in terms of texture or scare cards. Taking a bet flop, check turn, bet river line just never works. And even though he's betting really small, he might be trying to entice me to make a raise or to make a bad call. So I'm just going to fold. Against the really tight guy, I'm not going to defend ace-3 suited from the big blind. The way to beat those players is to not give them action. All right, got an all-in pot. Hope I'm right. He hasn't snap called, so that's good. Yep, got it through. The reason I 3-bet with that hand and then eventually 5-bet with it, the guy is playing very taggy stats, 22, 20, very high 3-bet, which often means he's going to have a very high 4-bet as well. And against people with a high 4-bet range, you got to widen your value range for just getting it all in pre-flop. And ace queen is the start of that widening. So how do you know? Go with the read, test it out. Turns out it was spot on. So whether I widen the range more, I don't know yet. Really depends how he reacts to that and continues to play. But it's always good to pick up like 360 without a showdown. And that table has the potential to be pretty interesting, so bring it over. Looks like I'm going to need some more games. And what I'm looking for when I'm browsing through the lobby is the highest players per flop percentage. And I'm also looking for big average pot, because that means there might be a blaster at the table, a real cannony type. Those are the easiest people to get money from once you just play super spewy aggro. And you'll notice that I'm not just like calling opens with pocket pairs as my default. My default is actually to fold with them. It's because of their really poor flopability. So unless I'm really certain that if I hit a set I'm going to get paid off a large amount, it's not really worth trying to take a flop with those hands. Other times it's okay if you think you can outplay your opponent post flop. I just don't have enough information on anyone yet to really justify doing that. Call or squeeze. Go either way. I don't really want to get 4-bet, and that button player looks pretty aggro, so I'm just going to call. And on table 1, if Facem had been in one of the blinds, I probably would have opened the 6-5 suited, but given that he's on the button, he's the most likely player to play, and I'm most likely going to be playing a pot out of position. I go with the fold. Another interesting one. Get min 3-bet by a bad player who is 3-betting very wide, so if I manage to make top pair better with this king-jack, I'm not folding. And I'm going to float on this flop. This guy's aggression's infinite, so I probably have implied odds if I hit my gut shot. Also, there's an outside chance that I do have the best hand on flop. Hopefully he'll slow down. That's good. It's a good sign. A pair of kings might be good. I don't really think it's good enough to bet though, so I'm going to check back. Most likely call the river. And if he checks, it'd be a margin call as to whether or not I bet. It's a pretty good price. I call. Got him. He probably calls the turn if I bet, but it's not a guarantee. Super aggro in the big. I'll just min raise on table 4. Decrease my losses if I get 3-bet. Cool. Kate Catalan's pretty crazy, but 6 high is also pretty bad. Suited, I'd raise. Ace king raise. And in this position with ace king, we're like never folding. Button versus blinds. Table 3, easy fold, ace-8 offsuit facing a 3-bet. That should be a really easy fold for you guys. You shouldn't even think twice about that. Everyone's a little too aggressive on table 6 to open the jack 10. All right, here's a spot where some of you guys might raise to isolate. Um, I like to have a bit more top pair potential. Like ace 10 suited, I'd probably raise. Or you saw earlier that queen jack suited I raised. Here, definitely going to lead out. Hope to just get called and then just probably keep betting unless the board runs out really nasty. Okay, cool. Back doors, c-betting everything. Small blind opens pretty high. I guess I'll float one. Okay. Fold. You check the flop. I bet. Oh, you're super tight on table 1? Yeah, I'll raise. You guys are both pretty tight on table 3? Raise. And your sample size is obviously going to be very important for deciding when you open 100% versus when you open like 20 or 30% of hands from the small blind facing the big blind. Obviously, the bigger your sample is, the more reliable it is, and the more you can kind of skew your ranges. All right, this table looks like it's falling apart, so we'll bring in some potential softies. No showdown value on table 3, and a decent board for our range versus his range, so I'll fire one bet, and then I'm probably shutting it down. This one's going to disappoint you guys. Table 4 versus under the gun opener. Just don't love the spot. And it's okay to fold those hands. If you think that the reverse implied odds of the situation are such that you're more likely to lose a big pot if a big pot's played. Fine. And here, raise sevens, and the cannon is all in for $2, never folding. Last hand he ripped in for like 80 cents, so I'm sure he's just shoving anything here. Seven's good. Seven's good. Yeah, we got it. Going to slow down on opening the button when Bogak 84 is in the big blind, since he's shown he's both capable of and willing to 3-bet a bunch. Ace king, call, call. $0.10 there. Table 3, under table 4, I'm raising to maintain control of the hand. Table 6, I'm calling because I have a piece, and table 5, I'm calling because I may have the best hand. I have a couple backdoor draws. Decent shot at eventually winning the pot. And on one of the outer tables, we flopped a set on a board that he's not too likely to c-bet, so we're going to lead out into him and hope to get raised. Ace, queen, check. Hope it's good. Fives. Another option there when he checks back the turn is to bet the river to get a hand like that to fold. Table 3, we have a straight draw, but some of the outs are tainted. If we hit the 9, we could still be dead to a jack-high straight. Fold. Table 1 looks like it's falling apart, so bring in the reserves. But I will post my small blind. I've already paid the big blind. I might as well pay the small blind and get the other 2 free hands that I've paid for. No sense in being lazy and giving up that free money. Here on table 5, Rhino could be 3-betting me because I'm isolating the fish, but at the same time, so far his stats are uber nitty. So I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. This micro stakes game do a good job of staying full. That's very, very impressive. Party poker and very nice to know that anyone who wants to grind these games can get lots of action. Okay, this guy opens pretty wide and his folds 3-bet on table 3 is currently 100%. So I'm going to 3-bet with a hand that can make top pair a couple of ways. A hand that's not the greatest for calling out of position. Table 1, I'm going to call and hope these other guys call too. Damn. Probably can't call that. That backfired. And if that's a likely outcome, or if the players are actually very likely to just fold, then there's no real reason for us to flat there, and we can just fold ourselves and save the 40 cents. 40 bigs, yo. Adds up. Table 1, if this guy's an ace, I don't think he's folding it, even though the flush came in. And I would have to bet both the turn and the river. Just try to represent that flush, and I just didn't think it was worth it, so gave up. Really tight opener on table 1. Dump the ace jack. Loose guy you 3-bet, tight player you fold to, bad player you probably call. That hand I just brought over went, I defended pre, flop went check check, I bet the turn. He called, I checked the river so that he could bluff with all his missed draws, and because I didn't know if he would call with a 3 or 2 or not. And I also thought a 4 was very unlikely because he probably would have bet the flop with that. So I check called and everything worked out perfectly. If I had bet the river, I think he just folds. So I got some extra value by taking that line. Ole, you're so passive. Table 4. So pretty much whenever he bets, I'm going to give him credit. The other thing is if I flop a really strong hand and he's betting, then I'm definitely going to fast play because it's very unlikely he has air. And so very unlikely he folds to more action. King, king. Got the Cowboys. Hmm. Passive player bets. I beat most of the draws on table 6, but I don't think he's the type of player to be betting with his draws. So let that go. Here's a pretty gross spot. Guy limp shoved. I'll let you guys know if he gets called, what he ends up having. Because that other player is really loose. So there's a good chance, yeah, he snap called. Limpy Razor had aces. Other player had nines, and aces got fucked. Unlucky, bro. It's very important to have the discipline to make those folds. Even though it's really annoying to get limp pre-raise, you just have to give the guy the appropriate amount of credit. Not worth getting in 100 big blinds with 7% equity. Here's same thing. I isolated the fish and got 3-bet from the small blind, a position where people tend to have strong hands when they 3-bet. They don't do as much 3-bet bluffing from there. So even though I definitely wanted to run it with the fish when he went all in, I had to respect the other player involved in the hand and make the tight folds. Got any river but that one. Well, maybe this guy's like 2 9s or something. 2 7s, yeah. I was gonna value bet on brick rivers, but the ace is just too bad because he can be check calling the flop with ace high. Not doing much to help me out today, party. Making me work for it. but sadly I've been unable to get a deposit bonus. So it's really going to slow the speed of this challenge. Maybe I'll email them and try to get one. Table 1, just trying to fold out the big blind so I can play heads up with the fish. No guarantee that it's going to work out, but you fold some hands on that board, so c-bet's in order. What do you guys think of my avatar? Like, don't like? It's me getting stacking. Yeah. I guess I don't mind getting blown off a gut shot if he check raises, and there aren't too many draws there, so it's probably folding a bunch. Now we're open-ended, and it's an overcard scare card. I guess we're committed to emptying the clip here, table 1. If not the best river. Oh, okay, well, so much for that. My guess would be 2 pair for that guy. Just he's very passive, so when he bets out, needs to have a strong hand. And also given the fact that he check called 2 streets means he can't have air balls. What in the fuck? Some weird shit going on the outer tables. Guy opened to 16x. And now he's c-betting 10 cents. Now he's checking. Well, ace king. Guess I should have just folded pre when the guy made it 16x. Alright, Rhino, keep on doing what you're doing. Next time I'm probably not folding. Oh man. I was thinking about opening that 5-3 suited. I feel like I've been flopping trips on that table a lot too. Not that that matters. You know what? Whatever, bro. You open the small blind all the time and you fold to every single 3-bet. Over you. Table one, just going to assume we have the best hand unless someone's betting actions dictate otherwise. I didn't opt to isolate the fish that time because my hand had less floppability than it did the previous time with the A10 suited. All right, Ole. Maybe we can finish you off here. Semi-bluff the 2 overcards. Even though he's very call-y, if I hit one of those 2 cards, I'm getting the rest of his stack, so price is not that bad. Ooh, table changed color. That must mean I've got aces. Oh, yes, I do. Whoa. Pretty good turn. Well, looks like a deuce. Anyone tell me what our equity is against a deuce here? I'll give you a hint. It's not very good. Okay, and it seems like there's actually a decent amount of 3-betting going on in these games from the regulars. So maybe we can do a little seminar on when to 3-bet, how to defend against 3-bets, how to plan your post-flop play once dealing with a 3-bet pot. I feel like that's always the most popular topic. Hopefully we can river straight and he'll blast and we'll check shove and win all the money. Sup, bro? 2 pairs? Even a set? Slow play. Gotta check back the flop and then min raise the turn. Yeah, aces. Good slow play, bro. And that, my friends, is implied odds in action. Isolating my fish, eh, bro? Re-isolate. Yeah. Sup? Yeah. Got it through. It's a good time to be 3-betting people. If you want to like do 3-betting, do it when they're isolating a fish because they're more likely to have a wider range than usual. Damn. 4-bet. Good timing. no. No need for deposit. Just drop the other tables. We got a little money left. We're not broke just yet. So I'm definitely going to reevaluate my strategy for these games based on what I've been seeing from the regs that they're 3-betting aggressively, 4-betting in good spots. So might tighten up the opening range on the button, widen the 3-betting range. Since I think most people are more likely to either be 4-betting or folding. They're not going to be doing too much calling. And then against certain guys, I won't 3-bet bluff them, but I will have a wider 3-bet value range. So we can play more all-in pots. Well, I've been trying to avoid all-in pots for the most part, given that we're working with a small bankroll. But I think that's just going to be unavoidable. You can't be too risk averse when dealing with players who are willing to give action. So I guess we're going to start taking some more swings, and well, if we bust, we'll just have to reload. But it'll give us a better chance of moving up the ranks faster, which is what I'm sure you guys are hoping to see. All right, probably play it out for about another 10 minutes. Hopefully win one real hand. And it's good to note that even though the players are bad, that doesn't mean you're automatically going to be winning every time you play. You still have to be getting the right cards in the right situations and making sure to not make major errors. Uh, but if you can, lose smaller, come close to break even on the days you're running bad, and just win huge on the days you're running good, you'll be going the right direction for sure. This might be an opportunity to win a real pot. Come on, Martin, have any piece. Damn. Guy's full to flop bet solo. He'd definitely call with like a 4 there. Ole. Can't hit a board against him anymore. Still got a rep. I mean, Ole's full to flop bet solo. He might even peel with like a queen high here. In which case, my bet would be pretty bad. All right. Have a piece. I want to get all in. Let's go, Martin. Give the fans the excitement that they're looking for. Just check call. I guess pretty good likelihood of an overcard coming off, so I can maybe try to bet him off his hand by the river. So I'll try to set up the betting right. That's a bad river, but I'm still going to go for it. I'll still shoot. He's like a 4-6 or 3 deuce. He might fold here. If he has a 5, he's obviously calling. AK all day. Smash it. Wow. So beat trips, lose to a full house. I don't think I'm folding this time. Bluffing. Why bluff there? Whoa. For a second there, I thought Queen 5 beat Queens. This pot was 3-bet pre-flop. He checked back twice. So I'm thinking he has either a king or like queens, jacks, nines type hands. So bet small, hope to get called, win the pot, easy game. I think I'm also going to fold less to the 3-bets in these games because even though people know about 3-betting, I'd imagine they don't play too fantastic in 3-bet pots. So I want to battle some more. Okay, pocket fives, super tight opener. This is a spot where we can figure we'll get paid if we hit our set because he just has so few like bad hands in his range. So we'll call and we'll miss and fold. Anticlimactic. Damn, how did I get knocked out of that hand? Alright, well, good luck me. I'm 3-betting these nines and I'm not folding. That's a bad sign. Big sizing is more likely to be ace king than big pair. King king. Deed it. Well then, I guess I need to get more chips. Hmm. Yeah, got the chips. Get me in the game. Odds are really good here on table 4, so even though I got limp re-raised, gonna call. Take a shot table 2. Hope that that insta-bet was not strength, and it wasn't. Usually the faster they bet, the weaker they are, and the faster they call, the weaker the hand. So if someone's like check snapping you off really fast, just blast. They usually fold by the river. Ooh, big bet. I like it. Bigger bet. Come on, Yeg. Yeg bluffer. All in. Well, if he's a bluffer, I got to give him a chance to bluff. And Ole, you don't fold anything, but I'll take one shot and hope you can fold like tens or something. Nah, he can't fold. Don't bluff people with stats like this. 52, 1, 1. Come on, Yeg. Make a bit. All right. I call. Lug hand. I think you're pot committed at this point. Ace king good. Got him. Okay, last orbits on the tables. See what Yeg had, if I can. Do they show me? Ace queen. Yeah. If I bet there, there's a small chance that he folds. So that's why I checked. Check that flop, just to enable him to call with the widest range possible. Yeah, rebuy. So I think the only big mistake this session was the nines. I guess given that he hadn't 4-bet yet, I could have 3-bet with the intention of folding. Um, Live and learn. Pretty good turn. I'm going to check back because I don't think he's calling 2 more streets with a 9 or a 10s or a jacks or a queens. And I just want to maximize the chance that he'll call with them for 1-bet, and that bet will be on the river as opposed to on the turn. His draws might also fold. And he could have king queen too, so I'd just be value cutting myself. In fact, I don't really beat any kings. And I don't beat the flush. And I don't think he bets with the other pairs. So actually, on that particular river, since I can't beat king 10 or any of the flush draws anymore, I'm going to fold. 3 kings. Wow. What a way to end the video. Making like tightest fold of all time. Not. Can't fold for 10 cents. No one folds for 10 cents. Ace high. Ace high. Perfect bet. So it looks like on this session I made like $2. If I didn't waste off that stack with the nines, I would have been up about a buy-in. So there's the one major mistake ruining the bottom line once again. And I think we probably could have got involved in some more 3-bet pots. We're getting 3-bet a good amount, and I don't think we can just roll over to these guys. We're going to have to take it to the streets next time, get a little hood, go to battle, and that's going to be fun. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave me your comments on the video page, and email me any requests. If you want to help a brother out, like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Gripst. What else would it be, right? Pretty obvious. Probably didn't even need to say the address of the page. But if you guys can do that, I appreciate it. And everything else you guys have been doing for me, I appreciate it. So please just keep it up. I like where we're going. Let's keep on trucking. This has been Evan for Grips.com. Now it's your turn. Go out there and get stacking.